Well,
Wait, I
one,
take a glass of water.
yeah, grab a glass of water. That's cool. I'll just kind of, I'll start talking while Fabrizio grabs a glass of water. This is my first episode in 10 months, roughly. Excited to be back. I've done a couple lives here and there, but the first official interview again. Um, just, experiencing the integration thus far of being back in normal life and being sober. And this is Fabrizio. Fabrizio, hello. I met just briefly on a Facebook group. Fabrizio has published a book, Drinking the Serpent. It's available on Amazon. You can also get it digitally as well. A lot of it so far, and I've only got through 100 pages, and I'm so excited to have you on today, so we can talk a little bit more about it. But what I have so far read throughout this entire book, what I'm understanding is pain, the pain that we experience in life, whether it be like I don't know if you use this term in Peru, but I had eczema growing up, which are like a lot of scabs on my skin.
Yeah.
And I had gone through multiple different treatments growing up. I was always super self-conscious about it. Between the ages of 9 and 12, I had scabs on my face, which was like a really hard time, as like a sixth grader and like that time in life. And there was one day I just said, I don't care about it anymore. I'm not going to allow it to dictate my life. And it went away. And what's funny is you talk about this in the book, and obviously it's a lot deeper than that, because I think our illnesses are definitely bonded to different traumas and different feelings that we maybe haven't confronted quite yet. But that's something so far I have taken from your book, and I'm going to allow you to summarize a little bit more. But why don't, before we get too deep, go ahead and introduce yourself, Fabrizio. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. So my background is from science, okay? I'm a biomedical engineer, and I work for many years in research with hospital. I had a patent on a machine that read the brainwave, dated maybe 20 years ago. And yes, I was working on artificial intelligence, brain-computer interface. Then I had some kind of problem with science, scientific method. I quit my job for a gap year. Then this gap year became like 12 years. And I lived in China for these 12 years. There for scientific minded, I met first time the spirituality, I don't know how to call it. I had the chance to meet a monk in a mountain of China, an eremite, living alone there. And he showed me the power of what he was doing, meditation. And wow, for me, it was mind-blowing. This man was able to do impossible things for my little science. So I got curious. I started to go and live in temples and try to, again, I'm a researcher. So I go and I try to research more deep in this meditation thing. So I live in temple, Buddhist temple in India, in China. And then, yes, it was very interesting. Then one day it happened to meet this psychedelic medicine here in South America. And then it was I fall in love, like, wow, what is happening to my brain, body? And again, my way. So I want to know more about this. And so I want to go deep. I start to live with different shaman, living 6 months in Colombia with the shaman. That was not so real shaman like I want. It was like a more a YouTube shaman, okay? Was putting music from YouTube during his ceremony, something very funny. Then I went in Peru, where I met the shaman that I work with now. And then I want to go more deep. So I went to live with the tribe in Brazil, a real tribe that doesn't like white people. But I see how they drink ayahuasca. They drink ayahuasca for connection, for celebrating life. The women put the best clothes, they paint their face with the natural color, the men put their feather, and they go on all night dancing, drinking ayahuasca, and enjoy life, okay? So I saw ayahuasca could be used like in a community setting for resolve the problem of community, like drinking very little, the people start to talk under this effect of connection effect of ayahuasca, and in this way they were organizing the tribe, solving this little problem that always happen between humans, okay, but in a open-hearted way. So rich of this experience, I decided to come back in Peru. I open my center, try to put all these things I learned in this year. So I put together Chinese Qigong because I live 12 years in China. I put meditation. I had the talking circle for this tribal setting, and then the medicine from here. So ayahuasca, yopo, rapé, and cambo. And yeah, and I'm keep on researching, understand? Like I work now with the two university, in Italian university, with two students and another professor to try to prove scientifically the efficacy of a treatment with ayahuasca. I don't like this new age way, like ayahuasca is like 10 years of therapy. You drink one time, it solve your life problem. It's not most of the time it's not like this, okay? There is a work behind, there is an understanding behind, and then yes, ayahuasca facilitate this job. I saw hundreds of people coming out of here happier, joyful, with some incredible things, like people with skin problem like yours. In 1 week, the skin problem disappear, bones problem disappear, sickness that science said that cannot be healed disappear. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we should know more about this ayahuasca. We should read more, and also for people like me, scientific minded, they should approach this ayahuasca as well. Like it's not something for hippies, it's not something for new age people, but a person like me that I was a startupper, so I work with high technology. I was working in science. Now I'm totally convinced of how this medicine works super well and does incredible things, with the two factors. You have to work and you have to give enough time, okay?
Yeah.
Time is important because we cannot expect, we plant the seeds, we cannot expect the day after we have the fruits. The tree, everything in nature take his own time to grow, So from a seeds, we put the seeds with the ayahuasca inside of you, and then gently, slowly, if you feed the seeds, we nourish, you taking care of the seeds, then the transformation is going to become permanent. When it become a tree, there is no wind that put it down, okay? Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you on the point that it's not this magic. It doesn't just completely change your life just from doing it. A lot of the change happens when integration takes place. For me personally, for what I had gone through, if you and I can show you after this episode, if you had seen my before photos of what I looked like before I had gone to Costa Rica about 15 months ago, I was very disconnected. I wasn't grounded. I wasn't aligned. I suffered from addiction problems. I was running away from something that, I had to confront. And the first thing that I did when I got back was I confronted what I had run away from for over 15 years. And what ayahuasca did for me in that regard is it helped me. I had an ego death. And at that point I had realized that I need to face my problems head on and allow my wounds to heal rather than just allowing them to spread further and further.
Wow.
And since Costa Rica, 17 months ago, I've put in the work. like you, actually, after doing the medicine, I quit my job and I went and I chased my dreams, and I tied the loose ends that were loose for so long, and I no longer depend on chemicals or drugs to get through my day. Instead, like you mentioned, meditation,
Yes.
being grateful and thankful.
Yes.
Gratitude is so important.
Yes.
One little funny side street about gratitude that I learned doing a yoga class was our instructor. He was so great. We for years I've had knee problems. Both of my knees have hurt. And we were doing this stretch in yoga where we brought our knees to our chest, and he goes, "Now go ahead and thank your knees. Say thank you, knees. Thank you, knees." And at that point, the first time in my life, for knees that have always given me a problem, I said thank you, and I was grateful for having them, because some people don't. And there's just so many little things, and it, like you said, it's not just the medicine. It's part of it, but it's not the complete picture. And that's what I think a lot of people need to realize, especially if they have an expectation going into something like this, is it's not going to give you what you want necessarily, but it'll give you what you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can tell you one thing that we always say here, ayahuasca give you the homework. So you did the homework, you go back home and you did, you connect to the people, you talk, and you did the job, okay? Ayahuasca for me is like preparing you for going out. People sometimes come to the ayahuasca ceremony asking to solve the problem for them. No, ayahuasca prepare you to solve your problem by yourself. Ayahuasca is empowering you, cleaning you from all the dust and the garbage we accumulate in the years, to clean you so you are strong enough, you are empowered to solve your fucking problem by yourself. You understand? This good, because empowering is not like a mother that you go, "Oh, please help me, give me the solution of the homework." No, learn how to do by yourself. I put you in condition to do it, but then homework, you do your work at home, you put into action, into real things, the teaching of ayahuasca, and then the results are coming.
You in your book and in your introduction, you had mentioned traveling in Chinese temples, Buddhist temples, and in the book I had read a little bit about Taoists' practices that you kind of work through as well. How do things like those practices and qigong intertwine with the ayahuasca realignment experience?
I tell you, they work super well, incredibly well. Probably because Taoism is a religion of shamanic origin. So the roots of Taoism was the same roots with ayahuasca, shamanic, So this kind of way to connect to the energy world, to the spirit world. So in this base, they are at the same level, Then China developing her structured ways in their Chinese way. Here in the jungle, they develop in their jungle more funny way, but the base, they were the same. So this energy field, we work for Qigong. We see that in the ceremony, people feel this energy in the hands and they can move it. I tell you, it was very interesting. We had a Chinese doctor for 1 month here doing acupuncture, and he treated one of our facilitator, okay? And wow, this facilitator during the ceremony of ayahuasca, he start to feel where the needle were working in his body, the meridian point, the energy that the needle unblock, and he start to feel it, be conscious of what the Chinese doctor was doing for him for 1 week. And he felt incredible. Ayahuasca started explaining the reason why he had this blockage and the reason why the needle were in that point, what organ were touching him. And, was an amazing, especially imagine for a person that is our facilitator, so a person that already drink ayahuasca 100 times, he did already his personal work, but then combining these two way, like the Chinese way, with the ayahuasca way, it give him incredible result, and achieve so much about his body, his digestive system, that even in 100 ceremony didn't manage. So yes, these two things seem to work very well, and that's why we combine Chinese medicine with ayahuasca, and that's why my book, there is a lot of philosophy of Taoism. Taoism is let flow, relax. Like in the ayahuasca, you don't fight, you relax. In Kung Fu, you are rigid, you lose, you are soft, and you avoid the heat, like in Matrix, woo, woo, woo,
Yeah.
How if you are rigid, you fight, you put a wall against ayahuasca, bam, it break you hard. You are soft and you navigate with ayahuasca in the Kung Fu style, you have an amazing experience, okay?
Yeah.
So very similar. And funny things, opposite side of the world, China is 12 hours different from us, really exactly opposite of us. But still, they arrive at the same conclusion. And this also make me think, when many places around the world that were not in connection arrive at the same idea about some spiritual idea how the world is made, la la la. They arrive from so far away at the same conclusion. Wow, it make me think that maybe there is something to check there, to explore there,
Yeah.
Because I know, like, how possible they don't talk Chinese with the men from the indigenous Amazonia, so how they have the same idea? Must be something real behind, so this is make me very interesting.
I have that thought a lot, actually, how different regions of the world, even like with religion, for instance, a lot of religion and a lot of philosophy all comes to the same conclusion: is what gives you peace and what can allow you to reach that peaceful state. How do you get there? And while the process might be different, the end goal is always the same. Or not always the same, but pretty much usually the same. Yeah.
Can we go back? I would like to. We started about this idea of pain, okay?
Yeah.
I would like to tell you one experience related a little bit to your story. Really, my beginning of ayahuasca. At the time, I got a kind of funny sickness. I start to have balls, little ball of on my body, popping up, big like a coin, very painful. It start from the legs and they pop up like a burn. Wow, I had 1 week like this, very painful, and I don't know how to solve it, and I asked ayahuasca. So ayahuasca to help me to solve this problem. First things ayahuasca told me is be thankful for this sickness.
Yeah.
Because the sickness is healing you. And then actually this is a sentence that apparently was said by Jung, this Austrian philosopher, one of the beginner of psychology. He was saying the sickness is the way the body heals you. So ayahuasca tell me the sickness is vomiting this body, your body is vomiting out from the skin the sickness that is inside. So be thankful because it take it out from your body, this sickness. So I start like a mantra, no, thank you, because I had really enough. Thank you. And then ayahuasca went on and said, the problem you had is related to the skin. The skin is the interface between you and the outside world, okay? Is the what it divides us from. So you have a problem with the outside world. At the time, I had a serious problem because it was my beginning here in Peru, and me, I'm coming from a high-tech world startup, so precise way of working, and here it's a mess. Tomorrow never come. The quality of the work in construction is a disaster, So I was getting mad. I was really in trouble. So I said, ayahuasca, you're right. I have a problem with here, with the world where I live now. So ayahuasca told me, okay, or you accept it or you go away. And then I think, okay, I go away. I'm gonna take a pause of a few months. I'm gonna go in Brazil with this tribe. That was my plan for 4 or 5 months. Oh man, the day after, no more balls on the skin, no more
Yeah.
blister on the skin. The day after. So the lesson
Wow.
was clear. Don't fight your sickness. Is a way the body is telling you something. So accept, be thankful for the sickness and understand what's behind the sickness. It's not just an infection like we explain in the Western medicine, too many bacteria. No, there is something behind, in mind, body, environment, space. Get there. When you understand, you solve the problem. Okay, I
Mhm.
understand the problem was a conflictual situation between me and the outside world. When I solved the problem, taking 4 months of holidays, I solve the problem of the body. Boom. I understand the message. Okay. And that's the story. Sometimes the sickness, the bad things are just like message, are doors. We need to understand, not fight them away or run away. A problem in the ayahuasca, in the normal life, is just an opportunity to see your life in a different way. Not all in the victim way, oh poor me, why all this happened to me, and the society and the world and the family and my girlfriend. No, let's start why this happened to you. Accept, try to understand the message behind, you know like simple. You put the hands of the fire, you feel pain, and you remove the hands of the fire. Psychological pain is the same. It's a message. What are you doing? There is something in your life that is like having the hands on the fire. Change something.
Yeah.
Take it out.
Well, I'm going to ask you to go a little bit deeper into this because this is something that you explain within the first 50 pages of your book is, the process of masking an illness rather than solving the root of your illness. And as you had so wonderfully illustrated just a little bit ago, about uh, being thankful for what the symptom is and trying to understand it. I know the way that the book breaks it down is something like the illness is your body telling you something, and then you're trying to get down to the root of it. And being an American, we so often, it's so common in Western medicine, and you're looked at as crazy when you talk about this kind of thing. But there's so many medicines out there for the mental, for the for different symptoms you have. There's antibiotics for things,
Yeah,
to cure your sickness here in America. And nobody really ever tries to find the natural way or
yeah,
try to find the holistic way to solve that issue. Instead, we just run to Western medicine to mask our problems. The
yeah,
biggest epidemic that we see here in America right now is the overuse of depression medication, anxiety medication.
exactly.
It's a terrible thing. And it would be wonderful if people could come to the realization that there might be other ways
Yeah,
to solve these problems and find these problems. And as you just put it, it's not about being a victim of your circumstances and playing the victim card. It's coming face to face and not feeling sorry for yourself.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
so in the book, and tell me if I'm describing this correctly, and you may have just kind of stated it, but I just want it to be something that I can look back on and be able to articulate myself. You have the sickness, you have the symptom, and the symptom is instead the communication of maybe what the deeper underlying problem is,
Yes,
and
yes.
then a little bit further into that.
And then again, let's go to a big framework like Chinese. Okay, Chinese are good in putting the things into system. Chinese medicine says that Western medicine is wrong because we remove the pain. Because for Chinese medicine, the pain is calling your attention. You have a pain on the elbow, your attention is pulsating, you go there. Putting your attention, they say that it makes the erosion of the blood, the energy of healing go there, because you put your attention. When you put your attention, the blood goes, the energy goes, they call it chi, this energy, and you self-heal. Understand? If we medicate, we put an anti-pain medicine, the self-healing doesn't happen.
Yes.
So we have a perfect mechanism of the body self-healing, and we remove. Okay? The thing is that Western, like you have a little problem and you don't want to see. And then this little problem start to grow inside your body and getting bigger. And your body is telling you there is a problem there. And you try to ignore. You take a pill, anesthetic, alcohol. You don't want to see. At a certain point, your body is going to scream. There is a problem there. And when you scream, they can scream as a tumor. They can scream as a big problem. You need the surgery, okay? Because you didn't listen when he was just telling there is something wrong there. There is something that have to be changed. Western world have this philosophy that in Latin they say divide it et impera. So cut it to rule it, divide it to rule it. So because the problem is so big, to handle it, science is okay. I go looking only at the heart, because the problem is the heart. And actually, I don't look at. I go the micro, and then I solve. I put that right chemical. We solve this problem, this unbalancing. But maybe the problem is bigger, is due to food or the way of life, But to science cannot hold the problem, handle problem very big. So you make it in small problem. But then when you look at the small, you don't see the whole picture. So you can miss something. So the solution can be elsewhere. Mind and body is one thing. Mind and body is one thing. So our think, our emotion, our feeling affect the body, and the body affect our feeling. Your liver have a problem, you get a little bit, you get irritable for nothing. Okay? You are tired. We know, you are tired or you don't eat for a long time, you get more aggressive. So you understand, the body is talk to the mind and the mind talk to the body. So we need to understand this and take this big picture. So the problem, let's handle the problem, okay? Not removing the problem like I take antidepressive. It doesn't solve anything. It make you dependent on antidepressant all your life, with all the side effect it makes, that make you less smart, your sexual arousal less, you live like a half life because you keep on taking this medicine. But no, let's go to the problem. The problem is that the body, this wrongness you feel, this depression you feel, is due to something. Let's go and look at the root cause and let's solve it once forever. No more medicine. Is the body is calling you. This depression is calling you. There is something wrong. It's screaming in you. There is something wrong in your life. There is something to change. Do it. Or
and I couldn't agree with you more. I still, I have days here and there where my heart starts beating really heavily, and if my chest feels tight, and I feel like it's the end of my world, and I'm trying to understand within myself what creates that feeling, and it's very sporadic. It's maybe once or twice a month, but it's a feeling I really don't like. And I have a situation in my life right now that is somewhat contentious, and I often tie that feeling of anxiety to my contentious situation in my life. Unfortunately, the contentious situation in my life is something that is out of my control in a lot of ways. So I still continue to control what I can control, which is everything that I do, which is meditation, which is, going to the gym and exercising, going outside and getting the sun, healthy practices. But I think what, a lot of people need to understand is like, and it comes from ayahuasca too. It doesn't eliminate all your problems and you're happy for the rest of your life. You're still going to have adversity in your
Yeah,
life.
of
It's
course.
about it's about how you handle these things. And again, it's just about self-discovery. The learning never ends. I'm still trying to understand, maybe I'll do some different type of breathing courses or some breath work, or like you said, focus your attention on that spot that feels tight and think
Mhm.
about it and put all of your energy there, and
Yeah,
allow that energy to maybe disperse that tightness
yeah.
and give some additional clarity.
Don't run away from that feeling. Stay with that feeling.
Hmm.
Like sometimes, okay, I have this, or I go running, maybe it's good for me, or I do meditation too. No, this is an escape route. No,
Okay.
stay with that.
Stay
Stay
with
with
it.
that feeling.
Okay.
There is something there. There is he want to communicate to you something. Stay
Yeah.
with that. Stay with
Okay.
this little pain. Stay with little anxiety. Try to understand why is there, without running away, without finding a solution that maybe don't need. It just, the solution is just listen. The
Yeah.
body is talking to you. Just shh, listen. Don't think already what solution I can take, what course I can do with activity or medicine I can do. No, and I tell you, like, you can try by yourself. Next time, maybe you cook, you fry, then some oil is burning your hands. Stop the
Okay.
fire, stay there, and concentrate on the pain of the burn, without putting water, without putting anything. Stay there just 5 minutes. You will see you are not going to have any blister without
Okay.
putting any product. Just try. A
Yeah.
simple exercise that don't run away, don't look at your body, have the power to heal himself. We need to get our power back, okay? Our
Yeah.
society push us to give power to medicine, to this tool, to the car, to the mobile phone, to this and that, and we become less and less power. We become powerless.
Yeah.
And then, powerless being is a needy being, because you need the help of this and the medicine, and you get powerless. Instead, we
Yeah.
have to take our power back, our self confidence. Our body can do that. Our body can heal ourselves. We can do this. Just don't
Yeah.
run away. Stay there. Understand what the body wants to tell you. There is a knowledge in there. There is 1,000 years of evolution that is making this organism very good. It's a
Yeah.
perfect machine. Listen to it. Don't think
Okay.
you know more, because we know nothing. We just
Yeah.
need to learn, and we learn every day. And the body teach when you stay in silence. And then you will see. That's maybe meditation can be good for this. Instead to run away, meditation says don't judge, stay with the pain, and there is something. For I don't know if you ever did this vipassana meditation. You ever heard about this?
I actually, I've signed up for one. I'm on a waiting list.
Yeah.
There's one roughly about an hour and a half away, and
Wow.
it's
Perfect.
seven straight days of complete
Yes.
silence.
Yes. Go for it.
Yes.
And I tell you, me too. I was in the waiting list, but then I went there, and many people in the waiting list, they don't show. So at the end, I enter even if I was the number 10 on the waiting list. Okay. So if
Okay.
it's only 1 hour and a half far away, show up
Yeah.
there, and then you will see. There will be many people they don't show up. This was
Okay.
my experience. This In this
Yeah.
Vipassana, I learned one thing very interesting. At a certain point, they tell you, okay, at around day number 3, if I remember well, stay there. At a certain point, my legs are in pain, and they told you not to move for this 45 minutes. I have a pain, I have a pain. And they tell you, concentrate on the pain, analyze the pain, dissect the pain. Is burning, is cutting, is stretching, where exactly. So I start to do this exercise on my pain in the legs without moving. And then happen the incredible. This pain become pure bliss. and I felt like an energy coming from my leg, warm up all my body.
Yeah.
And and 20 years later, I have a motorbike accident, and I'm in the hospital with leg completely broken, exposed, a fracture, and my pain is incredible. What they give me morphine.
Morphine.
Oh,
Yeah.
morphine was exactly the same. When I took morphine, I remember my meditation thing. Morphine was from the pain, transform the pain in bliss, and then this warm energy. So I understood that at night in the Vipassana, I produce my own morphine that is called endorphin. So the endorphin is the body produce morphine to fight against the pain. But this it
Yeah.
happened only when I didn't run away from the pain. When I stay there crossed legged for this 40 minutes, 1 hour, and I stay there and I stay there, and then the body, boom. Very good, Fabrizio. I'm gonna give you some endorphin, so you're gonna enjoy a little bit more this funny position. You know, wow, the body give you. The
Yeah.
body find
Yeah.
the solution for me. He give me this beautiful drug that is endorphin, that is amazing.
Yes.
You understand?
And yeah, and for anybody, and you can tell me if I'm incorrect, Fabrizio, but for anybody that doesn't know what a Vipanasa is it's a 7-day long meditation. You wake up early in the day, around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. At least this is the process of the one that I'm looking at,
Yeah.
and you meditate for 14 hours.
Yeah.
And there might be a break on hour 5 to 6
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
speak with the leader that is
Yeah.
doing the practice. But there's no talking to anybody else in this experience. You're all staying in the same room. And at the end of the day, you may have like a hot tea or a broth
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
some sort of light meal. And you do this for 7 days straight, and you're basically silent. And for a lot of people here in America, Fabrizio, this is an extremely scary thing for people to do. And for the people in my life that I've brought up the idea to it, I get the same reaction every time. It's, how are you going to do that? And you know what? It's been done for years. It's been done for thousands of years. It's possible to do it. And I think what it awards you is exactly what you're talking about. It's you're training your body and your mind to give you that power, to give you that discipline, and take practices with you that can't be taught any other way. I think it's so valuable.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first time I drink ayahuasca and I felt was a 3 hour Vipassana. I felt the same, as intense. The difference is that Vipassana, you grow. You have 7 days to learn. So you stay there. The risk of ayahuasca that, yes, I had the same experience like Vipassana, but I can lose it in 3 days after, okay? Because, you built, it's like you built muscle in Vipassana, and they stay after you finish. In the ayahuasca, it's like you grow up a muscle in one night, but the day after,
you're in a headlock. Yeah. The resort we did 4 straight nights of ceremony, and we've been told that's kind of crazy. And I was gonna ask you about this, the different types of ayahuasca that are throughout the Amazon. The final night we had Yahe night, which is a Colombian ayahuasca. Whenever I try to describe the difference between a regular ayahuasca, whatever that might be, compared to like a Yahe, compared to some others that are out there, is it the way that the medicine itself is constructed, or is it a different root or plant?
In the Yahe, let's say, in the Colombian ayahuasca, can be a little bit different leaves. Usually there are 2 kinds of leaves used for putting DMT. One is called chacruna, very famous, and the other is called chaliponga or wambisa. The wambisa have a little bit more DMT, and maybe have a 5 meo DMT as well. So can be the Colombian one can be a little bit more visionary. Then there are so many traditions about cooking ayahuasca. Here in Peru, they had many different plants inside. The one we cook here in the center, we put 6-7 plants that are not hallucinogenic but give a different feeling. And then there are few kind of ayahuasca. There is the vine of ayahuasca. There are ayahuasca cielo, that is the most common use because it's easy. Then there are ayahuasca that have a kind of dark side, okay? So
Yeah.
like ayahuasca trueno, that standard ayahuasca, that is more for magic, more shamanic work, okay?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
will not give to any person that is not in that doesn't want to become a shaman this kind of ayahuasca. There are temptation, there are darkness, demon. This is more for shaman, okay? Let's say
Okay.
90% of the tourists use cielo ayahuasca because it's light, it's generous, and it's more easy. And then here in Peru, they count 7-8 different kind of ayahuasca. Ayahuasca
Okay.
boa, that is big like this and grow next to a river. Then I heard in Hawaii there is a red ayahuasca, is a different kind of ayahuasca. So there is slightly difference in the taste, in the feeling, you know.
Do
But I will
do
go for the normal one, okay? It's
Yeah.
enough.
Right. Right. Yes. Absolutely. You mentioned shamans becoming familiar with maybe all types, and I would assume that is because it's an experience that you need to potentially understand for anything that may come up as you're maybe leading a ceremony. Am
Yeah,
I correct on that?
yeah. Also for question of power, okay? The
Yeah. Okay.
shaman get power in through drinking plant, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
drinking different ayahuasca, he get the knowledge that this specific ayahuasca bring to him.
Okay.
Dieting a plant, you have the knowledge, like the knowledge is like a ally, you know, that somebody can help you in the moment, and this bring you power, okay? A
Yeah.
powerful shaman is a shaman who stay like in a kind of vipassana in the jungle, drinking plants and drinking ayahuasca for months, maybe years, okay? Years,
Yeah.
I don't think now we find any more shaman that stay, quite frankly, here in the jungle alone drinking, you know. This thing maybe you find remotely in some village, remotely in the jungle, you know. Now, no, modern people, they don't have the patience to stay 1 year in the jungle drinking plant for this kind of knowledge, okay? And for
Yeah.
this kind of power. So
Right.
I think 90% of the shaman that turn around are shaman that maybe did 2-3 months of isolation in the jungle when it's good, you know, like when it's
Okay.
good.
Interesting. I would assume, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I would assume the shamans that have spent years in the jungle maybe have a better idea of how to lead a ceremony more effectively
Yes.
than what you're saying is this essentially this rushed process just because of patience. Our life, all of our lives around the world are so much busier now for
Yeah,
for
yeah,
all the obvious reasons. So I understand not having the patience to spend a whole year, in the jungle. But I would, as I had previously stated, I would assume that a shaman that spends his life dedicated in the jungle has a better idea of how to lead a ceremony
yeah.
effectively.
I tell you, ancient time, the only one drinking ayahuasca was the shaman, okay?
Oh, okay.
And not, but because it was this kind of shaman that they stay in the jungle alone, he was
Yeah.
able, with his energy, his power, to heal you.
Wow.
Now, because there are no more this kind of shaman, so we we need to help the shaman drinking as well. So, you
Right.
know, the
All hands
medicine
on deck.
entering
Yeah.
us and entering him. Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I think we don't have any more this kind of shaman that just drinking them, they have the power, the healing power to heal us without us to drink. Okay. And
Yeah.
so, yes, and of course, a shaman that did more long time in jungle is more powerful. But again, remember, this power is a power of humbleness and cleanness. More you are clean, more you are humble as a shaman. It's like you are an empty pipe, so you can take the energy of the world, of the plants, of your alley, and pass through you and deliver it to your people in the ceremony. If you start to
Wow.
have an ego or you are dirty, so it's like imagine a pipe dirty with some uh,
Yeah.
plaster inside. So
Some
this
clog.
energy
Yeah.
doesn't flow well. If you are an
Yeah.
ego, when I met shaman, then they tell me, I'm a big shaman. Wow. Me are like, maybe I choose another one because
Yeah.
you have to be humble. The real shaman is the one who knows that the power is not from him, but it's just a channel. So
Yeah.
humbleness makes you powerful. The
Right.
emptiness, instead
Yeah.
when you say I'm big, I'm good, like, hmm, maybe not.
Yeah. That lacks that being
Empty.
humble part of it. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Right. Right. I
yes.
love that analogy of having that empty pipe and it filtering, like you said, that energy and delivering it out in a way that is uh, at maximum speed, essentially, rather than getting caught and clogged.
I
So,
tell you, my
yeah.
shaman here, one is cooking food every day for us. Is the kitchen woman, okay?
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
other is the one who does a lot of job like cutting wood, repairing things. Because shaman in this contest is not a profession, is not a job. Is a gift. You receive a gift.
Yeah.
Usually is inherited by your lineage, by your family, and so you have to
Right.
give. So here in traditional way, the shaman is not a job, is like a service. So
Yeah.
here the shaman are doing also other job. Like their job is, my best shaman is the kitchen lady, cook amazing. But you understand
That's
that
so
this is
cool.
humbleness. Is
Yeah.
humbleness because her way is with heart. I serve you food and I
Yeah.
serve you ayahuasca and I do with heart. And
Yeah.
it's the same for her. I help you in the ceremony and I make you the best food I can with humbleness, like a mother to give.
Yeah.
And you understand? And this make
That's
humbleness
beautiful.
a very part of the culture of shamanism. You understand? The Western world, a lot of money turning around ayahuasca uh,
Yeah.
makes this kind of shaman disappear. Okay,
Yeah.
but here
Yeah.
in Peru, you still find them. In the little video, you will see that the shaman are sometimes fisherman, like a farmer most of the time, kitchen
Yeah.
lady.
I think that's just so beautiful. I love that. You mentioned like Westerners with ayahuasca, and one thing that has gotten approved in America recently is iboga.
Yes,
And there's talks of ayahuasca, the FDA getting their hands on it and regulating it here in the States in terms of practice. But as you just made so clearly that it's a service and it's a gift, and your lead shaman is the kitchen lady who cooks the food and then later on serves the medicine. I think of here in the States a process where you're brought to a clinic and you're given a drink and there's a therapist in a room to talk to you, and it just seems so
yes,
disingenuine in comparison to what
yeah,
the practice is actually meant
yes,
to be.
yes.
Yeah,
This is the risk of ayahuasca. I just I just participate to a conference that was called the Difficult Child. He took the
okay.
book of Hoffman about LSD, and Hoffman said that at the end, this beautiful LSD create a lot of problem. At the time, LSD was banned because of fear. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
because social change, people doesn't go to war to Vietnam War. The government like, whoa, what's
Yeah.
happening here? Let's block
Woke a
it.
lot of people up. Yeah.
Yes, yes. They
Yeah.
block it about fear. The
Hmm.
ayahuasca instead is the opposite. It's too much love that is is killing ayahuasca. So what's happening? Ayahuasca want to be brought in the laboratory, in the clinic, destroying ayahuasca, because ayahuasca is born with the shaman, with the ritual, and is not a pill that a multinational pharma comp want to patent to give to people in a clinical condition. Is destroying ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is destroyed by this shaman in 2 weeks. Here in there are places here in Peru, you pay $10,000, you are patented shaman in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Like what?
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so this idea also that this medicine, miracle medicine, this new age things to all, all these things, this too much love is risking to destroy ayahuasca. Remove ayahuasca from his environment, transforming a pill, transforming in laboratory things, put in a hippie new age contest with the fake shaman, is destroying ayahuasca. Too much
Yes.
love destroy ayahuasca, like too much fear destroy LSD.
Yeah. Well, the LSD story is crazy too, because of how it even came about. Have you? I'm sure you know this, but one of the funny things about LSD that they had discovered was during the witch trials over in Europe. A lot of those villages, their bread, the grain, the crops had developed a certain kind of mold, and when they had ground that into flour, the whole entire all the villages were tripping out and burning witches, because they were unknowingly ingesting this mold. And later on down the road, there was some I think it was Swiss scientists or maybe Norwegian scientists that were kind of playing with a different headache medication and had used the same sort of mold that was in that flour, and it ended up, I think it's like 1937 or something like that. But
Is this man Hoffman, this one I told you before, is a Swiss scientist
yes,
that he discovered LSD by mistake. I think he was doing a thing for the uterus, actually, not for headache.
Headache,
for the uterus contraction or something like this. And then accidentally he inhaled this little microdosing, micrograms of L, and then he took his bicycle and went home, and then like woo, 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 woo. And then like
exactly.
wow.
Yeah. And that was
Hoffman I was saying before. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it was roughly about 8 or 9 years later, the CIA had gone over to that company that had developed it and had bought it and brought it back over to the States to test on the people here in America.
Yes.
It's amazing how things can that are so beautiful, or that can sometimes work as a super effective medicine, that can be turned into this weapon if it ends up being controlled. So question for you. I've been thinking about this since you brought it up originally. So you had worked in science and tech before making the jump. How you said for 12 years, and you were working with artificial intelligence?
I was working before on brain computer interface, so putting sensor on the head and controlling a computer. I have a patent on this on I think 2004, and then I was using artificial intelligence on that, and then I was start to work on try to understand people emotion with artificial intelligence, tracking the body feature in order to have a communication based also on facial expression. And and I made my own startup in Hong Kong in 2000 and maybe 12, I think. You try to create a product for children that was reading the emotion and teach to the children according to their emotion. When they are bored, changing the lesson. When the task is too difficult, make it more easy to keep the child engaged. This was my startup in Hong Kong.
Okay. And at some point you had decided to put a lot of it aside to go, you
No,
know, to
actually, life is funny. We bankrupt. We didn't arrive to a good product on the market. Okay, you
okay,
know,
yep,
startup. You have a limited life. You know, we had some round of business angels. Bam, bam, bam. Back up a little bit of money, but with that money, we didn't arrive on a viable product on the market.
yeah,
Boom, bankrupt. At the same
okay,
time, my life in China was more complicated. They changed the immigration rule. My relationship and my life was going a little bit down. So I like, wow, I take a year gap and I go in South America. And
oh really? So you were
and that
living in China
happened.
during that?
Yes. And so
Wha-
in South America, I am. You understand? That's also what I mean. Something that look very ugly, like bankrupt, broken my relationship with my girlfriend. My house thinks I cannot live anymore. It's more difficult for me to live in China. You know, at a certain point, I'm without a
yeah,
house, without a job, without a girlfriend. You know, like, and you know, like catastrophe. But this catastrophe is what bring me here to do the job I really like.
yeah,
You know, sometimes what is bad, when you find a way to look it from another side, you will see that I'm very thankful that my company bankrupt. I'm very thankful for all
yeah,
the bad things that happen, because all these
right,
things lead me here to do the
yeah,
job I really like, knowing ayahuasca, living in the jungle in an amazing place, surrounded by amazing people. I cannot be more happy. So you understand what is bad?
yeah,
You have to find a way to change the perspective. You know, it's like the sickness. You know, you are sick and then you are focused on the pain. Oh, I'm sick, I'm sick. No, change the perspective.
change
The
it.
sickness
Yeah,
is what he was telling me ayahuasca is helping you, is healing you. Change the perspective. This trauma, this accident is not to hurt you, is to make you change. You know, this
mhm.
all this catastrophe of my Chinese life were to make me change it to the life that I really enjoy. You
Yeah,
understand?
it was a new opportunity,
Uh-huh.
and I myself had a very similar situation in my life where it you could have looked at it like a complete disaster, but it ended up being the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And
Yes, you
I'm
understand.
still in that those early stages of that journey, but you're so right about that. And I think one way to look at something like that is the old cliche. It's been said for so many years: one door closes and another one opens,
Yes,
and it couldn't be more true. I mean, that's why it's been around all throughout all of time.
yes.
So tell me a little bit about your resort. So what or your space that you use for ceremony for somebody that would want to,
Yeah.
visit. What does that look like?
We have we are in very deep in the Amazon,
Okay.
along a river, very nice river,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit complicated to reach it, like 1 hour walking or by boat 3 hour. Okay. And
Okay.
so we have a lot of bungalows, on wooden bungalows in the jungle, and then we have a big maloca that is the ritual space. You know, this traditional cone construction, and then we work on small group. Our idea is to create a feeling. You know, the shaman lives here, a resident. The people. We work only with 10 people. I want that the people become friends, because
Hmm.
one thing we lost in this civilization is this connection one with one. You know, this talking face to face. You know, this
Yeah.
sharing between human living together. So I wanna, in a small group, I can achieve this feeling. You know, so the
Yeah.
people share ayahuasca together, stay 1 week together, they do exercise, they go to swim together, they go in the jungle with the shaman to play, have fun. You know, they become a
Yeah.
family, and I wanna give back this feeling of humanity, man with man. We need each other. We cannot
Yeah.
stay isolated in our little box. It's killing us. So
Right.
in this way, So we use nature as a healing. Of course, medicine, ayahuasca, cambo, yopo, and then community as a feeling. We eat together like a big family around a big table. The shaman lady is creating for us amazing food, mixing Peruvian flavor with Western Italian influence. Fish come directly from the river. We eat only like 0 kilometer things, like the people around provide me meat by hunting or fishing or chickens that are running around. So no production meat, okay? Only meat that is alive a few hours before and natural. The fruit and the vegetables are coming from the villages around. They bring me banana, yucca, fruit, and we try to keep it simple, you understand? But simple, it doesn't mean bad. It means more authentic, more genuine, no? We try to really having some nice night, staying with the friends on the hammock, talking with the frogs singing outside. This is beautiful, okay? And you talk about life and the project and ayahuasca and whatever, and you are in the hammock with people that now are your best friend, because after you have a ceremony of ayahuasca together, there is a big bond, okay? And because ayahuasca, is a little bit, you feel the other people during ayahuasca, So also for this reason, we want small group, like 10 people. If the group are too big, your energy is dispersed between too many people. Instead, having a group of 5 10 people, you can give the energy to these people if you want. It's not dragged by some black hole in the room that is in panic, or is sucking the energy. It starts to become like a family thing, and these things is give me a result. What I do, I tell you, I like my scientific way. So before the people arrive, I ask them to do a test, a psychological test, a medical test. And then after they go, I ask the same test again, and I see the difference. And what I notice, that there is always a growth. Like always, 98, 97% of the people in 1 week, 2 weeks, they grow. There is an evolution in their psychology, in their mood. And you see, sometimes, like you said, your picture before and your picture now are different. The eyes are shining, are big, and the same, the people enter in one way and go out in another way. And I can measure it with my little test. And this is my little toy, to amuse my little scientist inside of me, that is still alive.
Well, right. Yeah, you have to have some sort of process. I'm the same way. I need to track my my progress, and I would be the same way. How many days does a visitor visit? Is it 7 days?
We minimum 7 days.
Okay.
We go more gentle, okay, than I think where you've been to Rhythmia. We do on Monday cambo. Then on Tuesday we do ayahuasca, but ayahuasca is very strong. And then we have a day off, because the people after the ayahuasca, maybe they don't sleep all the night, so we cannot push more. So we give them a day off, in which we do other activity like breath working, qigong, dancing, And then a night of yopo. Yopo is like ayahuasca, but it lasts 1 hour and a half. And you sleep. The difference, ayahuasca, the risk is that you don't sleep all night, or you sleep only 2-3 hours. With yopo, finish 1 hour and a half, you have a perfect night sleep. So we do yopo on Thursday, and then on Friday another ayahuasca with a different shaman. On Tuesday we have a male shaman, jungle warrior style, a lot of strong rhythm, and instead we let the closing on Friday, female energy. So la maestra Alicia, in which she has a femo, she doesn't drum, she have just maraca and chacapa leaves, soothing voice, mama, big mama, like Italian big mama, okay?
Hey, Big Mama.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we close with the female energy. And
Okay.
then if you wanna do a master plant diet, you have to stay at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because doing a diet is like scuba diving. You know, more you go deep, and more day I need to go back to the surface. Okay, and you need to
Okay.
do stopover. So I cannot give you 7-day diet and then send you back to your home because you freak out. You are too open. You are feeling too much. So I
Yeah.
need you like 3-4 days of decompression before let you go out in the world. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense because I know that feeling you're talking about just loving everything, and it's almost like that 12-year-old self is now like returned.
Yeah.
And there's definitely an adjustment period, and there are things that you need to hold yourself back from doing in regards of me. I believe in acts of kindness, but sometimes it's too kind, like it's not well thought out. In your book, you do talk about the misconceptions of the diet before attending.
Yes.
And one thing that we were told was, there's no, as far as like junk food goes or antidepressants or anything that's mind altering, lay off of it for 2 weeks before attending. But one other thing you mentioned in your book that I find really interesting, because I see other cultures also restrict themselves from this, is pork. And I think your book talks about pork and not eating it before ceremony.
Pork is a big mystery, this pork. Me too, I'm curious why this pork is so blamed around the world. For one thing is sure, pork, it takes long time to digest, okay? If I remember where, like a fish in 1 or 2 hours is digest, then chicken, then beef, and then pork can last 6 hours. So I tell you, one time I ate pork the day before the ceremony and I vomit pork in the ceremony. So I feel like the pork energy can be digested and somebody say that the pork is a dirty animal. So it brings you some dirty energy, but this I don't know. Again, what does it mean dirty and what is not? Yes, pork the before ayahuasca better not. Okay.
Okay, I see. That
But
makes sense.
again, this diet. Okay, once you are here, we curate the food, so you're gonna eat super cool. And for me, this idea that come before, the only things I ask you before to come here is not take medicine, chemicals, especially antidepressant, highly forbidden. Okay, you have to stay out for at least seven weeks, or you risk to die. Okay, it's not fun. And some other chemical medicine. Avoid marijuana. What we notice that marijuana remove the vision part of ayahuasca. Somehow, like people smoking marijuana, many times they report they don't have dream, or they
Right.
So I feel like a dream and vision, maybe there is some synergy between two things. And so we ask to the people, we notice that the people who smoke a lot usually don't have visionary ayahuasca. So we ask 2 weeks before at least not to smoke. And then I tell you, if you want to have your beer the day before entering the retreat, no problem,
Right.
The first day of the retreat, we have the ritual of the purge. We use cambo. So in theory, we try to clean your body of the food you have, okay, the alcohol, the chemical, to set the body good for the ayahuasca, So we purge you before. So I will not that worried about different things if you want to do a master plan diet. Then the diet is strict. No salt, no sugar, no sex, no touching, no exciting things, Coca-Cola, caffeine, theine, this is different. But this is a different story, because you diet a plant and you want that this plant enter completely in your cell. So you don't want to have salt or sugar that distract the body from assumption of this plant.
Yeah. Right. So what you're saying, and you're calling this the master plan diet, is no salt, no sugar, no sex, no nothing, right? Just probably like a whole food, like, berries of some sort, maybe some sorts of vegetables, and like a fish or something.
I tell you, like we do the diet, you eat practically our everybody food.
Okay.
Just without the salt, without the sugar. So it's still good food, okay? You had your eggs with vegetable, your fish with tomato sauce, or cook in the oven or in the leaves. It just you don't have salt. The salt things is another thing that we'll have to understand why it's like this, because it really changed the game. When you are in a diet, ayahuasca gets stronger, and then funny things, you start to connect with the plants you are dieting. So if I diet a plant like ahosacha, this ahosacha, at a certain point during the ceremony, ayahuasca, it start to tell me something, information about me, what I should do about my food. It's very interesting.
It is so interesting. Something I heard about pork just today, actually. I was talking with somebody that's kind of in the healthy food industry and healthy dieting, and they say a reason why they avoid pork is because pigs don't sweat; they have no sweat glands. And a lot of times when you sweat, you are sometimes purging parasites and purging, your toxins. And since pigs don't technically sweat, they have no sweat glands. Those toxins and those parasites, they stay within. And especially when you have the fat of the pork, a lot of that time those toxins are intertwined with the fat in the meat, which I found really interesting. I've never heard that before until today.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I will check it. I tell you. Thanks for the information. I will check it. I'm really interested. Can be this makes sense, okay? You don't want more toxin in your body, so you avoid this, because in the ayahuasca we come here to purge about the toxin of our life, of our food. So why eating pork will be putting toxin after you purge? It doesn't make sense.
I love Al Pastor. I have to say, I love Al Pastor. It's my favorite. So I'm kind of bummed, every once in a while you got to treat yourself, right?
Yes. I tell you, me too. I just was in Mexico last week. Yesterday I had my Al Pastor,
Yeah, right. You got to have your El Pastor.
Yes. I tell you, is not ayahuasca. It wants us to live good.
Yes.
Not to live like a monk. Taking out. Like I don't understand these people who want to live forever, so they don't do this, they don't do that. So yes, you live forever, but a shit life. Okay, so
right.
I prefer living maybe a few years less, but happily. I have my pork meat when I like it, my glass of wine when I like it. Why I have to avoid all these things to live forever? But what the fucking life is this? It's a boring life,
Yes, I am in complete agreement, and everything. Everything that you consume should always be done, even if it's healthy, in a healthy dose. It should never be the center of everything. It's everything in small increments. It's never a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I tell you, if you really love, you enjoy, it's like you put a good energy in the things you eat. You love your El Pastor. You put love where you eat. Wow, it cannot be bad. Okay,
right? Blessing. Yeah, bless it.
You bless it. We lost a little bit this practice of thanks the food we eat. Giving this little prayer that because we now dislike all these religion things, and me, I'm one of those. Okay. But actually is a nice practice, like thanks every time you eat your food, like giving a little bit of blessing, a little bit of joy, not just consume without knowledge. This little prayer for the food, maybe transform the food and make it better. You know, many religious world think like this. Maybe it's true, you know.
Well, it's true about our bodies when we're thankful for what our bodies are producing, as we talked about earlier. When it comes to pain, we're thankful for that pain because it's telling us something. It probably is the same thing with food because we are ingesting it, and no matter what the meal is like you said, instead of just stuffing our face, it's I'm so grateful for this meal. I'm grateful for the cow that produced it. I'm grateful for the plant that grew, for the sun that created that plant with the rain, and I'm thankful that it's able to feed me, to continue to give me nutrition, you know, to carry on throughout my day. So I'm with you on that. And it's been lost in modern society in so many regards, not just food, but just being thankful for things, and the simplest things too. Yeah,
you're totally right.
Yeah. So, well, Fabrizio, I really enjoyed this time speaking with you. Yeah, we'll have to connect again. I'm so curious about your journey, and I'd like to stay in touch. Do you have any wisdom to bestow upon us before you go today?
Oh no, I think I give already enough.
Yeah. I love that.
I don't want to give too much. It's enough to digest them.
Yeah, like we said, in doses, right? Not all at once.
Doses, you know.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to finish your book. When I do, I will reach out to you and let you know. I'm usually like a 30 to 40 page per day kind of person. I can't go further than that without, not staying focused on what I'm reading. Sometimes if I go too far, then I just start reading and not comprehend. So it might take me a little while. I usually read in the sauna every day, actually. So that's generally where it does get read. But I'm thankful for what you've written. It's done so much for me already. And I just keep up the good work and spreading joy and love and that good energy. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.